Hey everybody, my name is Jane and I'm going to be talking about Boardmakers Core First Learning. Core First Learning is a digital tool that really helps support language and literacy through predictable instruction, shared reading, bridging home and school learning environments, language as a social construct, supported communication, communication instruction, and building a classroom community. So it really focuses on those students with emerging language and literacy skills. And depending on what age is really contingent on their cognitive levels. To be able to access this, you have to have a subscription to Boardmaker Online. Thank goodness my school district does, so I'm really happy to be able to go through and kind of do this with you. And you're going to click on US. So basically what this is you can do this, for an entire classroom of students. You can do this for a small group of students. You can do this for one student in your classroom. And basically there are 3 sets of 12 words. Set 1 goes with, the higher frequency core vocabulary words. And for those that don't know, core vocabulary are a set of high frequency words that are used in about 80% of our daily language. So there's 3 different sets, and if you go down to set 3, it gets a little more complex as you go along. So, oh my goodness. So if you go down, you go to program documentations. If you have any questions, any FAQs you need answered, really need to learn about what core vocabulary is my student, can they use this? They're really great reading tools. I read through them and I thought it was pretty easy to go through. So we're going to go into set 1. Here we go, set 1. All right, so let's go and look at the word go. If you have access to Boardmaker Online, the students how they can access this, it can be through direct access on the mouse. If it's a touchscreen, you can put it on your iPad. Also, if you have the switches to be able to plug into computers, you can do single switches, you can do scanning on switches. There's also specific programming for head gaze and eye gaze that can be effective. It kind of goes through, gives you lesson plans, things to go home. So let's go through these tools really quickly. Here's play, so that's when you play the activity. You can assign to a student, so you can send that to a student account, and then if their parents are really interested or really wanting them to learn, their family can go on at home and access and practice these activities as well. It always starts with a quiz, so that can be your generated report, your pre-test, post-test. How are you really taking data on this? You can print these activities as well, which is phenomenal. So say God forbid the internet goes down in your building, you have these printed, ready to go. You're not losing any time on it. Or maybe you have a student who really can't attend to a computer for very long, or it's too overstimulating, or there's too much on there at once. You can cut it out, break it up, really do it a little bit at a time. With this, you don't necessarily need to change the timing on it. Well, you can't change the timing on it. So what I don't like about this, you can't go in and edit anything. I think because it's copyrighted, they don't want you taking it and making it your own. So I'll play that again for you.
Show me, go.
So you go through, answer the questions.
Go.
You can't really move on until you get it correct. The thing that I don't like is it doesn't ding or really give you that feedback saying that you got right or wrong. And the other Boardmaker activities, you can go in and it'll go well, and then ding when you get it right or wrong. And I think our students really thrive on that auditory feedback. So you keep going through and you answer the questions.
Find the word that fits in the sentence. Watch the car.
Yeah, and I don't like the voice with it either. I really wish that I could change what the voice was.
How?
So I got it wrong.
Watch.
It just goes through and says it again rather than
car. How?
Give you that auditory feedback. All right, so we're going to leave this page. Let's go down and we're going to read the story. So you can print the story, you can play the story. I think if you don't necessarily like it, but you like the ideas that the program is giving, you can go through and kind of create your own activities, whether you have Boardmaker Online or the disc of Boardmaker. It's not ideal, but this might not necessarily be what's best for you then. All right, so we're going to allow that.
Go. Go. Go.
Yeah, it goes through, reads the pages, gets a little more complex as it goes along.
Go. Lots of things can go.
You can reread the page again, you can stop, you can go back, forward. What I truly, truly love about the stories is it gives you this talk option. You can go through and ask questions. A student can negate something, they can comment on something, they can answer questions. And I think that's just phenomenal. Like, I think that it's great that they can agree with something. You know, they can say,
This is boring.
this is boring. Like, they might not like that. I think it's so important to give that kid an option to say that they might not like something. I think that sometimes we don't always give our kids the option to say that. What's also really great is they have the device overlays. So if you have any of these students using these specific types, you can go through and print them out. And then what I thought was phenomenal was you go to the communication boards. And if you have any students using Snap plus Core First, you can go in, click on it. You can download it. You can print this out. So this can be, like your backup tool if you need to be modeling while your student's using the device, and then they can learn that navigation tool as well. Or, their device dies and they don't have anything, and this can be their backup. Maybe you could have other students sit next to them and they could be modeling or having a conversation using it. There's so many different ways that a student can use it, and I just think it's great to also have that as an additional support, even as for them to answer questions or comment, whatever you want, whatever they can do. I think overall this is a really great program for students with emerging literacy skills that you really want to teach this core vocabulary to. Also, really what comes with Boardmaker is this help section. You go to help and training. It provides you videos. You can contact Boardmaker. Their technical support is really great. I've had to use them several times. You can send activities. You can share activities. You can ask the questions and the forum. There are user guides that also go along with it. I think students who have these emerging literacy skills, but whether it's a student with a moderate intellectual disability, a severe intellectual disability, maybe they're an English language learner or in preschool. I mean, whatever the case might be, I think this is a great learning opportunity for students to have. And unfortunately that we can't edit it, I still recommend it to class.